Hi guys, so I'm back in the Croatian egg. I feel a little bit like I'm about to read you like a bedtime story in this position. This week I'm chatting about how to think like an entrepreneur. So this is published by the School of Life, who I've actually worked with quite a bit. I used to do some talks there, and I really love these little books by the School of Life. They've published a whole series of these, and they're on a variety of things all across all areas of life, from everything from how to keep sane to how to find a romantic partner. I think how to write a CV, like all kinds of random different topics that will affect all areas of your life. And so obviously when I saw that there was one on being an entrepreneur, this is the first one I picked up. And I really like this book. It's really different to most business books. It's a very quick read. You can see the size of it. It looks almost like a child's book. Though I think Caroline got put off, she did tell me, by the small writing, but it is still quite a quick read. I like just the front of it, makes you look like a superhero. I'm like, already it's kind of empowering me, and I feel like, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. And what's different about this is it just explores all areas of like being an entrepreneur. So it looks more at like kind of the history of entrepreneurial behaviour, different kind of like really old examples. It looks at the history of an idea, and then it looks at some random kind of ideas and concepts linked to being an entrepreneur, which I definitely hadn't heard of before. So, for example, one of the examples it talks about is the gossip test. Okay, so the gossip test was invented by a young scientist called Francis Crick just after the end of World War II. And I mean, it's quite an interesting concept. He basically said that the gossip test, what you're really interested in is what you gossip about, which is really true if you think about it. What are you passionate about? What do you talk about all the time? And I mean, it's interesting how it's kind of a scientific principle, but it really underpins everything that we're quite often saying in A League of Her Own, that, you know, you need to have that passion. So when it comes to coming up with an idea and working out an idea that you're going to spend time on, it needs to be something that you would gossip about, something that you will happily chat about. If you don't have that passion, you won't talk about it. It's quite interesting because it kind of, I mean, the School of Life is kind of about applying science and kind of like more emotional concepts, sometimes to business. So it was quite, that kind of scientific crossover I thought was just really interesting, and there's loads of examples of things like that in this book. There's also some quite fun pictures. It doesn't take itself too seriously. All of the little kind of comments on the photos are all a little bit tongue-in-cheek, which I quite like. And then they use examples from history and also more modern examples, so people who are living today, and they do interviews with them. But it's just a really nice, simple book. There's loads of space at the back for notes, and it's something. I mean, it's something you could genuinely pick up and read within a day. And then there are definitely examples in it that you can apply to everyday life. So they use brands like Gillette, and they use examples about, one of the examples is a Gillette razor. So it's interesting because I think sometimes you can get a bit scared by business books and just think they're going to be too highbrow and you're not going to understand the thing. Whereas this is explaining theories in a really simple, easy way. A lot of those theories you already feel like you understand and you just won't know the name for the theory. And then it's just done in a nice little bite-sized way. It's kind of, what I love about these books is you finish one of them and then you kind of feel inspired to just start another one, and they're all really pretty, and they all fit together on your bookshelf nicely. So that's the girl in me appreciating this. But yeah, definitely a quick one to read, $7.99, and yeah, you can be done with it in a day.